Stage set for first big battle of 2025. Aam Aadmi Party fights for third full term. Kejriwal model on test.
ये प्रस्ताव पारित कर दिया गया कि दिल्ली की हर महिला के अकाउंट में हर महीने हजार रुपए डाले जाएंगे
और ये घोषणा माननीय मुख्यमंत्री आतिशी जी ने मार्च के महीने में कर दी थी। अरे दिसंबर 2024 आ गया।
सभी बुजुर्गों का मुफ्त इलाज, चाहे प्राइवेट हो चाहे सरकारी अस्पताल हो, चाहे अमीर हो चाहे गरीब हो, सबका इलाज दिल्ली सरकार वहन करेगी उसका खर्चा।
सार्वजनिक तौर पर दिल्ली के हेल्थ सेक्रेटरी ने यह घोषणा करी कि दिल्ली की आम आदमी पार्टी की सरकार की संजीवनी नाम की कोई योजना नहीं।
Prestige battle for BJP. Will Congress split anti-BJP vote? Delhi Dangal Roundtable.
Hello and welcome. You're watching News Today. I'm Preeti Choudhry. First up, Merry Christmas to all our viewers and Happy Holidays. Our big focus roundtable this evening is on the impending Delhi elections because viewers, after the holidays when we all come in, we'll be right in the thick of an election which went down very dirty the last time around. Delhi is going to vote and the politicking has already started. Where does the Aam Aadmi Party stand? Is it a fight to the finish for the Aam Aadmi Party? The most important election it's fought in the recent past. Let's cut across right now to Raghav Chadha, Rajya Sabha MP from the Aam Aadmi Party. Mr. Chadha, appreciate you joining us this evening. First up, wishing you a very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, Happy Holidays. But I would reckon this would not be a holiday season for you in the thick of things where campaign and politics is concerned. How's it going?
First of all, a very Merry Christmas and I wish you all a very, very Happy New Year to you, to everybody at India Today and all the viewers of your channel. Well, I agree, it's holiday season, but I think with the elections roughly 45 days away from today, I think political parties are gearing up, particularly mine. We are in the thick of things, we are preparing. And I think over the last 1 month, you have seen our leader, Mr. Kejriwal, spending all his time with the people, sharing a program, a vision, and a scheme that he has for Delhi for the next 5 years, be it our Mahila Samman Rashi or the Sanjeevani scheme, or the promises that he's made for those who come from the Dalit, households. I think Aam Aadmi Party in this election seems to be the only party that has a vision, a narrative, a policy and a program for Delhi and has a positive agenda above all. And I think that is working very well in our favor.
But Mr. Chadha, your primary opposition, because what is seemingly right now a bipolar contest between the BJP and you, of course, there is the Congress there, has just 2 days ago actually, to say it in terms, charge sheeted your party for not delivering on its promises in the last 5 years and, of course, now completing a 10-year term, where they have, picked on the Aam Aadmi Party for not delivering. Number one, on education, where, I'll take you through some of the points, where as per the BJP, you promised on making Delhi schools world-class, yet 2 lakh students today are deprived of education. Number two, you promised 24/7 clean and free water, but today thousands of families are forced to buy water tankers and drinking water. That you promised free clinics, free hospitals, but yet 70% of Delhi is dependent on private hospitals, and the ones who go to the government-run hospitals are given date for tests which are months in advance. And there's a full charge sheet, be it the AQI, be it the Yamuna.
Look, first of all, I think these fictional chart sheets or these concocted chart sheets don't merit a response because these are absolutely and totally fictional. I mean, even our detractors would believe that if there are two, genres of work in which the Aam Aadmi Party has done exceptionally well, it is education and healthcare. First of all, let me say this, that BJP's whole campaign seems to be based on negativity. negativity has a very short span of life, while positivity is eternal. Aam Aadmi Party is running a very positive agenda. And as far as our governance is concerned, I think everybody knows that from electricity to water, from healthcare to education, Aam Aadmi Party has done remarkable work over the last 1 decade. We have built more than 10,000 kilometers of roads with 38 new flyovers. We have laid down roughly 7,000 kilometers of new sewage and drainage lines, 4,000 kilometers of water pipelines. We have given more than 500 mohalla clinics with 9,000 additional beds in Delhi hospitals. We have built close to 23,000 classrooms and world-class infrastructure in our schools. And of course, our main flagship schemes of free electricity and free water have been continuing. So I think we have promised and we have delivered.
Okay.
People of Delhi will vote for us on the basis of our track record of governance. Well, I agree that there are certain aspects which require more work. For example, Yamuna cleaning requires more work. For example, taking water to making it 24/7 in all parts of Delhi requires little more work and time. And we've not been able to achieve some parts of it. It's probably because, over the last 5 years, roughly 2.5 years were lost to a pandemic, a raging pandemic called COVID-19. And the other 2 years, 2.5 years, was this incarceration of our senior most leaders. So having said that, I think a bulk of our promises have been kept and honored and rightfully delivered. I think now the new promises that we have made will also be delivered, and the people of Delhi will vote on our track record, record of Jo Kaha Wo Kiya.
All right. Taking off from that, Mr. Chadha, you say Jo Kaha Wo Kiya, your track record and promises. Mr. Chadha, you've been a very prominent face where Punjab politics is concerned. I remember you were there when the manifesto for Punjab was released. At that point of time, you were sitting right besides Arvind Kejriwal and Bhagwant Mann, and an announcement was made of giving 1,000 rupees to the women of Punjab, direct cash transfer, like you have promised this time around. That promise, abhi tak nahi kiya, Raghav Chadha, has not been delivered to the people, or the women of Punjab.
First of all, Punjab and Delhi are two different states. In Delhi, we run a budget surplus state. Punjab is a state which is debt-ridden. We inherited Punjab in the month of February 2022 with a debt of more than 3.5 lakh crore. Punjab was struggling to pay salaries to its employees. There were repeated strikes in Punjab. All our expenditure, all our revenue was going in expenditure of a recurring nature with no capital intensive work. Punjab was absolutely in red. For the last 2.5 years, our government has been working in improving the balance sheet of Punjab, restructuring the debt, and augmenting the sources of income for the state. We have now finally come to a position where in the next few months and years, you will see in this tenure alone, Aam Aadmi Party's government in Punjab will fulfill its promise.
Okay.
People of Punjab are hopeful. People of Punjab believe in our promise. And why do I say so? They believe in our promise because in February 2022, when we went for polls, they gave us the highest ever mandate in the electoral history of Punjab by giving us 92 seats. Subsequent to that, municipal elections happened, which we won.
Okay.
Panchayat elections happened. We overwhelmingly won those. And very recently, the 4 by-polls that happened in Punjab, 3 out of those 4 was also won by Aam Aadmi Party, which means that the people of Punjab believe in us and we will deliver. We are on the right track. We are improving our balance sheet.
Mr. Chadha, many feel that the delivery of the direct cash transfer will come in the last 6 months of Punjab going into elections again. But that aside, to move on to the current offer or the scheme, welfare scheme that you have offered in the form of Mahila Samman Yojana, 1,000 rupees to women. But Mr. Chadha, you and I both know that by the time it's time for the first installment to come in, the model code of conduct will set in. So the women of Delhi will not really see that 1,000 rupees.
First of all, Aam Aadmi Party track record has shown that whatever we promise, we deliver. I understand that due to the incarceration of the political executive of the government, due to COVID-19 and several other things, we are only able to announce this scheme, and the cabinet of the government of Delhi is able to clear this scheme only towards the fag end of our second full tenure. But we are um, working hard to deliver it before the elections. If not before the elections, right after the elections, we will be giving not 1,000, 2,100 rupees to every woman of Delhi. And I think it is perhaps the biggest financial assistance, that'll be given to any by any state government as a welfare measure towards aimed at its
Okay.
women in a day and age where income levels are stagnating, inflation is increasing, and above all, the indirect taxation, which is the GST, is a burden that even the people in the lowest rung of our society,
Okay.
who are at the bottom of the pyramid, also have to bear. So I think keeping these financial challenges in mind, this kind of a big welfare scheme is going to be a game changer for Delhi.
But you do understand it won't be delivered before the Model Code of Conduct or before Delhi goes into election.
It could be delivered. It
Okay.
may not be delivered. I can't comment on the timelines because the government is working hard towards ensuring that it
Okay.
gets delivered. If not, then right after February it will be delivered.
All right. Mr. Chadha, there were other questions, especially the role of Congress, just with the 4% vote bank. If it comes in because the Congress hopes it's on a resurgence, that would could harm the Aam Aadmi Party if that vote share rises. But all of that aside, Mr. Chadha, I'm going to leave it at that. Wishing you a happy new year, but I'm going to ask you one question because it's always nice sometimes to give credit where it's due. And we did see that video of you bringing up inflated food prices in airports, and there has been impact. At least. So good on you on that front, because paying 800 rupees for a cup of coffee was criminal, I thought.
No, absolutely. And I think it's not just my victory. I think it's the victory of the people of India. I try and, spend a lot of time with the people and try and understand their issues and the challenges that a common passenger faces at India's airports was something that I shared, in the Rajya Sabha in Parliament. And I'm so happy that my speech was well received by the Union Civil Aviation Minister, who's a friend of mine. And he then subsequently took note of the overpricing of food items and drinks at airports, and finally launched something called as the Udan Cafe, where now you will get a tea for 10 rupees and a samosa for 20 rupees. I just hope and pray that it is not just a pilot project at the Kolkata airport. It's something that takes, shape across the country at all airports, because overpricing of food products at airport is something that both you and I and every person who's traveling faces.
Well, good on you, Mr. Chadha. Appreciate it, and I think a lot of viewers would appreciate it. Thank you. Have yourself a good year, and may the best party win coming in next year. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.
This time around, already politics speaking. What do we have in store? Let's cut across to our panelists this evening. Joining me, Akshay Marathe, Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson, Ashutosh in the studio with me, author, political analyst, Amitabh Tiwari, political strategist, RP Singh, national spokesperson, Bharatiya Janata Party, and Onika Mehrotra, Congress spokesperson. To begin with Akshay Marathe. Akshay Marathe, just 2 days ago, you had the Bharatiya Janata Party that released an Arop Patra. You have been charge sheeted by the BJP for not coming good or delivering on a single promise you have made in this term.
Preeti, thank you for having me on the show. Let me start off by saying that the BJP's Arop Patra against Arvind Kejriwal is actually a demonstration of the difference between the two parties that are fighting in Delhi today. On the one hand, you have the Aam Aadmi Party, which is saying in the last 10 years, we have done X, Y, and Z. And I'll come to what those X, Y, and Z are. And on the other hand, you have the BJP, which is the only narrative that they seem to have is to abuse Arvind Kejriwal and accuse him of all kinds of things. But the people of Delhi need to hear what are the alternative visions, what are the alternative plans. And there's only one party that has a plan.
I'm going to interrupt you, and I'm sorry, why am I doing so? And I'll tell you why am I doing so, because usually we get into political rhetorics. Let me quickly point out, and maybe then you can answer on the questions that I pose. What is this charge sheet that the BJP has politically filed against the Aam Aadmi Party? Number one, the Bharatiya Janata Party said that you have promised to make Delhi schools world-class, yet 2 lakh students are still deprived of education. Number two, In the charge sheet, the BJP claims that the Aam Aadmi Party promised 24/7 clean and free water, but today thousands of families are forced to buy water from tankers. You promised free clinics. Number 3, large hospitals in Delhi, but 70% of patients are compelled to seek treatment in private hospitals. Even in your government-run hospitals, you go in for a test and you're given a date months ahead. Number 4, the AQI levels once again has crossed 1200 and are hovering at about 500 today, if I'm not wrong, Akshay Marathe. The Yamuna, which you said, don't vote me, back in 2020, in 2025, if I don't clean the Yamuna, yet you and I both know the condition of the Yamuna is another charge.
No, thank you for listing all these out. Now allow me a couple minutes at least to go point by point about all of these things. Now, as I was saying, Aam Aadmi Party has said very clearly that these are the things we have done the last 10 years. What are those things? We have delivered free electricity. We have delivered free healthcare. All tests, all treatments in government hospitals and mohalla clinics are free. We have delivered 24-hour electricity. We have delivered free water. If you go to a government school in Delhi today, you will not believe your eyes. They don't look like any government school in any part of the country. And this is not something that we need to get a certificate from the BJP on. You go with your reporters today on the ground outside, stand outside a government school and just talk to the neighboring people who are walking there. They will tell you how amazing the government schools have become in the last 10 years, which was just a dream. People could not even imagine that this was possible. The same thing, I want your viewers today, Preeti, to Google 3 hospital names. Buradi Government Hospital, Ambedkar Nagar Government Hospital and Dwarka Government Hospital. These 3 government hospitals have come up in the tenure of the Aam Aadmi Party government. They look like the world's best hospitals. They have been designed to cater to the growing population of Delhi, and with a vision in mind that the next 10 years we need to create enough hospital bed capacity for a growing city. Why am I saying it's a growing city? Delhi has the country's fastest growing state GDP as compared to the national average. We are doing all of these things. We are providing all of these free services, welfare measures, and growing our economy without running the state into a debt trap. We have the lowest debt to GDP ratio in the country at 3.4%. Do you know what Gujarat says is 15%? Do you know what Madhya Pradesh says is 25%?
Let me bring in RP Singh into this. Because Akshay Marathe with what... make your point complete, sir. Complete.
One last thing. You have the Delhi model where we are providing all these services in an economically frugal way, in an fiscally responsible way, because we have an educated team of people that is not just distributing welfare, at our whims and fancies. We are doing it keeping the budgets in mind, keeping our fiscal responsibility in mind. But the BJP, on the other hand, is running all these states into the ground financially, and now they are calling...
Akshay Marathe, the charge is also that, yes, you pretend to give out all of these freebies or or whatever you might want, welfare schemes if you want to call them that, but you're really not delivering on them is the charge even in the charge sheet filed by the Bharatiya Janata Party. RP Singh, a detailed Arop Patra given out by none other than Mr. Anurag Thakur. How do you substantiate the charges?
Preeti, thank you for inviting me for your show. Merry Christmas to all your viewers here and abroad both. But coming to the point of the Santa Claus who talks about delivering things but always cheat on people. He said Delhi government, Kejriwal is known for X, Y, B. Yes, X is corruption, Y is corruption, B is corruption. Each department there is a corruption. Excise department, corruption. DTC, corruption. Jal board, corruption. You name any department in Delhi government, full of corruption and seeping with corruption. But that point aside, Mr. Akshay Marathe was singing his songs about that they have delivered on electricity. I give a challenge that electricity bill has been increased for a common man. There is no free electricity. You can come with me. I can send you videos also. I have sent you videos even now, which is something different context, which I'll explain further. But electricity is not free. They charge 45% levy taxes on the basic bills, and that too on name of the pension of the staff of the electricity department. So this is a complete fraud. Second, he talks about water. On your show he admitted, Mr. Kejriwal admitted, that I couldn't deliver on water. People buy water, each and every jhuggi cluster buy water, some 25 to 50 rupees per household, and almost 1,500 to 1,800 rupees per month for every household in a jhuggi cluster.
Okay.
And also, Preeti, you stay in Delhi. Do you get what? Give me a second. Do you get water which is pure drink? You can drink it from the tap? No, you have an RO system which you pay almost 4,500 or 4,000 rupees plus for your maintenance AMC for the RO. Now coming to the schools, give me a second. Schools, there are 10,045 schools in city. Out of which 753 schools don't have a science subject, a minor science subject. There are schools without principals. There are no principals in the school. More than 50% schools have no principals. 30% schools don't have vice principals. And also, 1.5 lakh children are dropped out every year from 9th and 11th standard to improve the result of 10th and 12th, so they can get good result in 10th and 12th. And they are putting those 1.5 lakh children in darkness. Another 5 seconds. Sorry, another 5 seconds. Talking about three basic things. I told you about air, water. Sorry, I spoke to you about electricity, water. Now air. What is the air quality in Delhi? Now he'll say, "Oh, Madhya Pradesh mein वैसे है, UP में वैसे है, Haryana में वैसे है." We are concerned about Delhi. We are contesting Delhi elections. We are Delhiites. You are making Delhiites suffer because of your false policy, your wrong policies. I'll give you one example, and that will give me another 3 seconds. One example is through. Delhi needed some 15,000 buses 10 years ago. It has only 7,200 buses, out of which 1,900 buses, electric buses, have been provided by Modi ji. We need last mile connectivity. Last mile connectivity. If I have to go from a house to Connaught Place, someone should pick me from here, take me to the bus stand, and from bus stand to the Connaught Place. That's what's required, and that's what they promised. And I'm telling you, we'll do this within 6 months of BJP making a government.
All right.
Last mile connectivity.
I'll come back to you, sir. I'll come back to you because it's an important question to ask. If the BJP comes to power, will you take on all the welfare schemes or whatever you might wish to call it offered by the Aam Aadmi Party? But Anika Mehrotra,
we will better them.
I'll come back to you, sir. I'll come back to you on that. Anika Mehrotra, you have the BJP, you have the Aam Aadmi Party. In midst, there is the Congress with as little as 4% vote share the last time around in 2020. The question, Anika Mehrotra, is what is it that the Congress has to offer the people of Delhi, other than one, criticizing the governance of Arvind Kejriwal, and number two, keep harking back to the legacy of Sheila Dikshit, which was way before 2013. It's been 10 years gone, Anika Mehrotra.
Nevertheless, the work done by Sheila ji cannot be erased. They've not even moved an inch beyond that. And hence you have to, people of Delhi are being reminded back. We don't want to do that, but it's so evidently clear that nothing has happened. But let me start my conversation here by saying that Preeti ji, Mr. Kejriwal, he started his political career on the lines of falsehood, right? And he, no doubt, consecutively he won the election, and that maybe that made him feel that, okay, that's the way forward. But in Haryana, he made the same promises. And look what happened. Their people, in all 70 odd seats, they had their candidates. They wanted to come with Congress. They wanted bargain deal, 10, 15, I don't know what not. And we put a foot down. They went on their own. And look what happened. They didn't even, they were not even able to, get their security deposits.
Anika ji, if you're going to bring up Haryana, it's a little more embarrassing for you than the Aam Aadmi Party.
Not at all.
If you speak of Haryana.
No, not at all.
Okay.
They try to damage us. Well, go ahead. It makes no difference to us. You see, it makes no difference. They can do this shaitani wherever they want. This is the gimmicks. They want to go and, make a triangle, which they feel they can, but they're not competent enough. People who have started the politics on the path of falsehood, Preeti ji, can never be successful. Yeah, it might take 10 years down the line for people to, understand, come out of that magic spell that they've cast. But this time round the corner, Delhi actually is desperate to change hands. And if you're going to show on the screen only BJP and Congress, BJP and AAP, you're sadly mistaken, Preeti ji.
Okay, ma'am, I'll tell you what. I know this has been a grouse of most Congress spokespersons who come on the show. But, ma'am, you must understand that we are going to look at the figures that we have on offer. And the figures and the data that we have on offer is what you have provided yourself from elections 2020. Sadly, if the Aam Aadmi Party stands as 53.6% vote share, the BJP at 38.6%, you stand at 4%. So therefore, that will be the importance
point.
And the
Is that
figures that we are
permanent?
going to show on television.
No, in the Lok Sabha election, we got a much more percentage than them. So, you know, it's
Ma'am,
not
Lok
like
Sabha
that.
elections
Things-
also you were in
things
alliance
have
with
changed.
the party you're criticizing right now.
Things
But,
have changed.
okay.
Things do change.
Yeah, but it was
Nothing is
different.
constant.
Onika Mehrotra ji,
Nothing-
it's different in Lok Sabha. You
Nothing
lost
is
all 7
constant.
seats even though you were in alliance with the Aam Aadmi Party. But having
Nothing
said
is-
that, I've given out the figures there. Allow me to bring in, our two other guests as well. And Ashutosh, you've been in the studio. For someone who's closely watched, been part of the Aam Aadmi Party journey and then away and then watched the Aam Aadmi Party, how crucial is this election, number one, for the Aam Aadmi Party? And number two, how difficult do you think it could be? Because you have at least 10 years of anti-incumbency.
See, every election is a difficult election, but this election is especially very, very difficult for Aam Aadmi Party, and especially in comparison to the last 3 elections they contested in 2013, 2015 and 2020, because there is almost more than 10 years of anti-incumbency against the government. So any government which is in power for more than 10 years automatically will face anti-incumbency. There will be questions which has to be answered. There will be promises which has not been delivered. There must be promises which has been delivered. And that's one reason that Arvind Kejriwal realizes this. And he is one man who always has his nose to the the ground, and he exactly knows what is happening on the ground. 2 months back, in Delhi, Aam Aadmi Party was really struggling, and that was the time when BJP should have entered into the fray, should have prepared itself, but they did not. They just let it fritter away. Arvind Kejriwal, since coming out of the jail, has been on the ground on a daily basis. Either he's doing Padyatra, or he's meeting people, or he's trying to convince people, or he's throwing some scheme here, some scheme there. So that shows he realizes the situation is not as good as it should have been. And that is why he is on a pitch for the damage control. About the BJP, I think BJP is every day it is missing the bus for the simple reason. Till now, Aam Aadmi Party has declared all its candidates. Where is BJP? Who is BJP's face? What the policy they are going to pursue? Just because coming into the television channels and talking all kinds of things. And even today only, I just read in the newspaper that the BJP is planning to change its a state unit president, because they realizes that the OBCs and the Dalits will send a serious signal to these communities because of the conversation which is happening in the country right now. So if the BJP at this minute and on the cusp of elections, if they're thinking in terms of changing their party president or appointing the executive president or some other president, that shows BJP is slowly but surely missing the bus.
Amitabh Tiwari, to miss the bus for the Aam Aadmi Party, you would need a swing for about a little over 6%. Because let's put out the data, Amitabh Tiwari, on the basis of what election 2020 in Delhi was. The Aam Aadmi Party stood at 53.6%. You had the BJP, which was a little over 38%. And you had the Congress, which stood at 4%. The Congress would need to rise above 10%. The BJP would need to gain at least 5%. And the Aam Aadmi Party would need to fall substantially for the Aam Aadmi Party to lose this election.
See, essentially the lead is huge, as we are mentioning. The lead is almost 15% for the Aam Aadmi Party. Now, there are two scenarios. One, as Onika ji said, the Congress got 18% vote share in the Lok Sabha. How much of it is able to retain? The 2014 to 15 trend shows that it was not able to retain significant amount of it. Almost all of it was lost. Now, let's assume one scenario where the Congress is not able to perform better and remains at more or less the same levels. Then the BJP requires a swing of 7.5% from the Aam Aadmi Party. If the vote share of 7.5% falls of Aam Aadmi Party and vote share of BJP gains by 7.5%, then BJP could win 39, AAP could end up at 31, hypothetically. Now let's assume another scenario where the Congress also performs better. So let's say the Aam Aadmi Party loses 10%, but 5% of it goes to Congress and only 5% to BJP. In that scenario also BJP could win almost 38, 39 seats. So there are two things. So for the BJP, the Congress has to improve its position because then it will pull away the poor, the lower economic section, the Dalit and the Muslim vote of the Aam Aadmi Party. And it has broadly, now because it does not have a face, as Ashutosh ji is saying, even if changing president or all will not matter. But what has happened for the BJP positively is that it has in Haryana and Maharashtra sort of mastered the art of hyper-local seat-by-seat contest without putting a face ahead. So here, there is significant anti-incumbency against the MLAs. There are 26 seats where AAP has won 3 out of 3 times in 2013, 15 and 18. There is where the BJP is focusing. They have changed candidates, of course, so that sort of neutralizes some level of anti-incumbency. See, there are 3 levels of anti-incumbency now. One is government, because you've listed the promises charge sheet. That is a narrative battle which will go on. Second is the MLAs. And third is that in 2020, the AAP benefited because it was sort of a sandwich government between the central government and the MCD. Now, it has at least 2 levels of government in its control.
MCD, it has its own double engine. Yes.
Yeah, it has its own double engine and double anti-incumbency sort of, which could play either ways. So we'll have to see how this pans out.
Ashutosh, you wanted to quickly jump
in fact, I wanted to add that point that this time Aam Aadmi Party has to face the double anti-incumbency. But another factor which is important and that should really worry Aam Aadmi Party is that Aam Aadmi Party vote bank is a shifting vote bank. If you look at the parliament elections, their vote bank comes back to 18% in 2019 parliament elections. It surges to 24% in 2024 parliament election. In MCD, it goes back to again 36%. But in assembly election, consistently having 53-54% vote share. So that shows Aam Aadmi Party's vote share jumps from 18% to 54%. If that is the kind of social base it has, then it has to really work hard. And if Congress does well this time, and there is a possibility that the Congress will do well in especially in the minorities and amongst the Dalits, that should really worry Aam Aadmi Party.
So that should be alarm bells for you because, Akshay Marathe, and maybe that is the reason because that Achilles heel could lie, that your vote bank is a shifting vote bank. The BJP actually always starts in Delhi at 38%. And for you, you understand that could be the reason why we really haven't seen an all-out campaign against the Congress. Any Aam Aadmi Party spokesperson is wary of attacking the Congress, and there's a reason why you're wary of doing that, because you don't want to make that into a contest. But number 2, Akshay Marathe, is this also the reason why we have seen a number of schemes coming up in the last 1 month, which the BJP primarily, even the Congress, Anika Mehrotra, I'm acknowledging the Congress here, calls it nothing but Jumla. Because I'll give you an example. Punjab, you offered the same cash, transfer, direct cash transfer to women in your manifesto. You yet to deliver in Punjab. You already promised 1,000 rupees in Delhi. You've started registration, but you and I both know, Akshay Marathe, that the model code of conduct will come in before the first, installment of the Mahila Samman Yojana can even fall into one bank account. Therefore, then you have come up with the Sanjeevani Yojana, which is to give free healthcare to residents of Delhi over the age of 60. All of that is all a game plan, Akshay Marathe, which the BJP calls Jumla.
Preeti, you have once again demonstrated what I said at the very beginning of the debate. I said that I will list out what we have done. We have a list of promises for the future, but the opposition parties have nothing but abuses and accusations against Aam Aadmi Party. That is exactly what has happened throughout this debate. You have again pointed out that the BJP has nothing but a charge sheet against us. What is the BJP's plan for Delhi? What do they think about free electricity and free water? What do they think about the Mahila Samman Yojana? What does the BJP think about providing free healthcare, whether in private hospitals or government hospitals, to people above the age of 60 that Arvind Kejriwal is providing a guarantee about? Arvind Kejriwal is providing a roadmap. He's providing a vision for the people. What is the BJP's vision?
But Akshay Marathe, let me ask you that question. Allow me to come in with a rebuttal. Why hasn't that vision been delivered in a state of Punjab? Because you've had a government there for 3 years now, yet that 1,000 rupees the women in Punjab haven't seen, but you're promising that in Delhi.
Preeti, I request you to go back to the Punjab election. Arvind Kejriwal was repeatedly asked, when will you give the 1,000 rupees per month? He said, we have been elected for 5 years. In the 5-year term, we will implement this promise. Punjab is a state that has a high debt to GDP ratio. It will take some time to sort out the finances, but we will do it in a 5-year tenure.
Akshay Marathe,
let me just one point.
We'll hedge a bet. It will happen in the last 6 months of Punjab going to elections
can I
again.
make one point, Preeti?
Yes,
Can I make one
please.
point, Preeti? I want to talk about the anti-incumbency issue because it is important.
Go ahead.
Yes, we have 10-year government in Delhi, but the BJP also has a 10-year government in Delhi in the central government. They also have anti-incumbency, mind you. In Delhi, the only thing that the BJP has to do is manage law and order. That is their one and only responsibility. Just ask any person who lives in Delhi today, what do they think about the state of law and order and security? There are constantly news reports of murders, of rapes, of petty robberies. What is the BJP and the Lieutenant Governor and Amit Shah ji doing? So there is anti-incumbency against the BJP as well, and they have a lot to answer for. There are 7 MPs that Delhi walas have given to BJP thrice now. Who are these 7 MPs? What have they done? What issues of Delhi have they raised in Parliament? So these are also important questions for the Bharatiya Janata Party.
All right, let me pose that question to RP Singh. RP Singh, you said when we come in, we'll better the schemes that the Aam Aadmi Party has announced. I'll give you an example, RP Singh, and maybe you can give us some clarity on that. When the charge sheet, which was filed by the BJP against the Aam Aadmi Party just 2 days ago, number one, it was elucidated in depth that the Delhi government is in this much debt, therefore can they afford to give 1,000 rupees, which Arvind Kejriwal is promising to scale up to 2,100. By that logic, RP Singh, I would assume, and the people of Delhi would assume, that the BJP in its manifesto will not offer a counter scheme like the Mahila Samman Yojana because of the same very reasons that you have elucidated in the Arop Patra.
Preeti, they have mismanaged the funds. They have siphoned out the funds. They have misused the fund for their political objectives. They have used it for campaign, publicity, so that they can win election in other states. Do you remember that goal, that Pusa-wala goal for the Parali? That goal was bought for some 60 odd lakh rupees and publicity was for around 60 crore rupees. So that's what they have done. So if you know how to use the fund in a right fashion, in a right way, then things can be better. But coming to the subject, he was talking about law and order. Let me tell you the law and order. There's a gentleman named Naresh Balyan, who used to be conduit for the gangsters abroad and then would send a message, itne paise bhijwa do to main settlement kara dunga. Now his wife is a candidate. So this is the reason for the law and order when you have MLAs who are conduit for the gangsters abroad. But that's a separate issue. But coming to each and every subject, we are going to provide solar panel. We are going to make cities solar panel embedded. You have to only pay for 3 years for the electricity which charges which is coming to your house, and for next 25 years you will have free electricity. And this is doable. I'm saying we will deliver drinking potable water in bottles at your doorstep.
Okay.
It's possible. It's doable. And it can be much better water than Bisleris and other brands. It's doable. For education, I mean, as I told, there are no principals, no teachers, no vice principals, and as I told you, more than 1.5 students are dropped out every year. It's not only that. Let's talk about each and every subject.
Okay.
Whatever subject you want to contest on. But we are going to ensure one thing, that we are not going to provide one bottle free with another bottle.
Okay.
Be very sure on this.
Okay.
And more Kejriwal goes to people, more people reject him because people remember of one bottle free with another bottle.
Okay, but RP Singh, before I go to Anika Mehrotra, let me ask you that question again, because you detailed exactly what you're going to offer. So therefore, I will assume, and the people of Delhi should assume, that there will be no promise made by the BJP on a scheme on the lines of Mahila Samman Yojana where you will offer direct cash transfer, because you said, BJP has said Delhi is in acute debt. So you won't offer.
Preeti, I just not told you. They have mismanaged funds.
Okay, so you will offer.
The Jal Board was a profit-making organization.
Okay.
No, we can probably do much better than what they are doing. Or can probably get something better.
Make it 3,000 RP Singh.
Something better for Mahila Samman. And we delivered. Give me a second.
Of course, sir. Take a second. No, take 20 seconds, sir. Anika ji, I'll come back to you. Allow him to answer.
We have delivered. we are delivered on ground. Unlike them, they say हम 59 months 60 महीने का टाइम होता है. ये कह रहे पंजाब में 59th month में हम दे देंगे.
Okay. You're saying you will deliver on ground. Okay, I'm running out of time. I want to bring in Anika Mehrotra into this conversation. Okay, Anika ji, सवाल सुनिए sir, ma'am. The question is, in all of this, again, you will tell me that you keep asking the same questions, Preeti ji, but Anika ji, the question again is that the Congress is limiting itself to be a word that I hate, but used very, very often on ground in elections, which is the terminology of called a vote cutter, vote katua.
Unfortunately, that's not the fact. We have our vote share. We know where it has gone haywire, but we will come back. Coming to your point, ma'am, Preeti ji, BJP got an ample opportunity while they were serving MCD. So it's not that the people of Delhi don't know the working style. It has led to massive corruption in the MCD. Right, ma'am? Similarly, AAP Admi also got 10 years to work on the grounds. And that is why both the parties are now actually scared, because they know people have seen their performances. And on the other hand, the development work that was done by the Congress and the reveries, or whatever we call it, provided now, the divide has become too huge. So people are not able to understand if this is the way they're going to go forward, then where will the development lie? So it has to be hand in glove, the development as well as the reveries. We're not denying that. As I said, we were the champions for women empowerment. We gave the Ladli schemes, but with the condition that the child should study, and after 12th standard, you get a certain amount of money, so that, you are on your foot. But both the BJP and AAP Admi Party have failed the people of Delhi. So we are not a vote katua and all that. These people have come, they tried to grab the votes by false promises. We stick to what we have said, and we have proven our word by doing what we have promised.
So this time, Anika ji, the Congress feels from 4%, you're going to skyrocket to about 20-24%. And
you just never know what's going to happen.
I wish you luck on that. I wish all three parties a lot of luck on that account.
Yes, thank you.
Okay, all three of you there, just before, because anybody else talking about...
Ashutosh was right when you said that the disconnect the Kejriwal felt, and that led him to come out with, 101 days.
Once again, I just want to reiterate, I wish all three parties luck on this, because we were talking about vote cutters. There are a lot of clip cutters as well, especially on social media. But I just want to put that out. I want to bring in Ashutosh ji and Amitabh back into this conversation. Ashutosh ji, if you look back, 2020, I would reckon, for any journalist, was one of the most horrific elections to cover. It was highly polarized. The communal rhetoric was very strong. One of the dirtiest elections politically that I have, ever covered. At the back of that, we are heading into a similar kind of election. We'll also see a big fight of personalities here. Word coming in, you'll have, even on the New Delhi seats, 2 former chief ministers' sons taking on Arvind Kejriwal. Number one. Number two, Meenakshi Lekhi stepping in all probability against Atishi. How do you see this election now?
This will be a tough election, there is no doubt about it. But I don't see, unless BJP comes out with some strong urban face, unless BJP does that, BJP will have to really struggle.
But they've done it before, Ashutosh ji. You had Kiran Bedi, she was a strong urban face.
Forget about it. In 2013, 2015 and 2020, assembly elections were held in a different ecosystem, in a different ambience altogether. Today, the issue is more than 10 years anti-incumbency. There are the serious corruption charges against Arvind Kejriwal. He has been to jail. And his residence, which is constructed with more than 40 crores, these are the visual symbols. You can't go and tell people that the same leader which used to say that all the chief ministers should live in a two rooms flat. Now you constructed 45.
The optics are too damaging.
More than the excise policy, and that is one reason that Aam Aadmi Party did not get sympathy votes during the parliamentary election. That should worry them. About the Congress, if does well, the issue is the Congress in 2019 parliamentary elections. Congress was way ahead than the Aam Aadmi Party. Aam Aadmi Party has only 18% vote share, where the Congress had 22 or 23% vote share. Yes. A gap of 4-5% vote share. That means that the Congress has the potential to emerge. So in that sense, Aam Aadmi Party will have to really work hard this time. This is not the same Aam Aadmi Party when they asked anybody who contested an election and got 29 seats in 2013.
I think it's also a sense that they have right now.
Yeah.
Because the kind of...
And the second point which I want to make it, that the Delhi has a per capita income of 4.61 lakh crore. 4.61 lakh per capita income, triple than the national average. Why the Delhi people should be given the doles in free? This is something Delhi do not deserve. You are creating a society where the people are living on living on free rations. So if Delhi can be a role model for the rest of the states in the country, that if per capita income is so high, we are not here to give free. Enough of the free electricity, free power, and free everything.
Okay.
Delhi do not deserve that. Delhi needs a good, a very, very good economic health. And Delhi is ebbing on that.
All right. I want to just take a final comment from Amitabh Tiwari on this. Amitabh Tiwari, if we look at the kind of the trajectory and the way the Delhi voters have voted in the past, while the middle class seems to have been tied into as a BJP vote bank, the slum dwellers, the Dalit, all 12 constituencies which are reserved in 2020 actually were won by the Aam Aadmi Party. That's something that should worry the BJP in the current context as well. The minority vote, which was primarily the Congress's vote in 2020 because of the winnability factor, went to the Aam Aadmi Party.
Yes, see, BJP cannot win this election by putting up a face, because face needs time to build an image and create an aura. They have to find but 70 faces to contest 70 candidates of Aam Aadmi Party. That is a big challenge for the BJP, because BJP has not yet announced the candidate list. That is number one. Number two is that the allegations against Kejriwal, that will largely have to be taken up by the central leadership of BJP, which is the Prime Minister and the Home Minister. The third point is that the swing voter, BJP also loses 15% of vote. So who are these voters? These are Purvanchalis, lower and poor socioeconomic class people, beneficiaries of central government who switched to Aam Aadmi Party because they are beneficiaries of state schemes here. And 15% from Congress. And who are these people? SC, minorities, etc. Correct. So this swing BJP has to prevent. So that is what is very, very important. And pray that Congress is able to hold on to some of the vote share.
But I'm not praying for anything, Amitabh Tiwari. You should be very careful on what you say on television. Because then you are nothing but a piddy analyst. That's
one point about the doles.
Okay.
Why are you so worried about it?
One point about the doles.
No, I am reached the end of the show. I apologize, RP Singh, but we are going to do this. Yes, Amitabh Tiwari wants to quickly come in for a clarification.
One more line is that the Mahila Samman Yojana is not going to bear any fruits to the Aam Aadmi Party like in MP or Jharkhand, because the scheme has not been implemented. Not a single woman has got that money. That is one of the biggest weakness of AAP going into this election.
I'm going to let it be. I appreciate all of you for joining us. It's going to be an year of intense politicking and electioneering, and we'll see you in the new year. I appreciate all of you for joining us. Merry Christmas, and I hope you have a very happy new year.